Welcome to Ugly Possum. Comment what you would like to see next.
Something really talk.
One time when my boyfriend was sleeping, his phone went off and it was from a Morgan, and I know all of his exes and friends, and like I've never heard of a Morgan before. So I went through the messages and they were talking about how much they missed each other, and I was like, weird. So I got on his Facebook and typed her name in his friends list, and there she was, and I went on her Facebook. It was really, really private, and I could only see like 3 or 4 profile pictures, and there was a guy in one of them and he was tagged. So I went to his Facebook and I saw that they were engaged, and I was like, weird. So I had screenshotted all the messages and then sent them to my phone, then deleted them out of his pictures and his phone, so he didn't know that I had them. And I reached out to Morgan. I tried to call her on Facebook and then was immediately blocked. And then I went to the fiance's Facebook and I was immediately blocked. So I said, that's kind of fishy. So I got on my second Facebook and I typed in the fiance's name and I went through his friends list and sent screenshots of the messages to all of the people with his same last name. And it turns out it was the night before their wedding, and it was a rehearsal dinner night, and I ruined the wedding. So sorry about that, Morgan. Don't text my boyfriend.
So I'm on my cart. I pull up to a guy and a girl. I ask if they want anything. The guy wants a rum and coke. The girl just wants a coffee. I'm like, would you like cream and sugar? Or I have Irish whiskey. She says, oh, no alcohol for me, just cream and sugar. So I start making their drinks, and she goes to like get her clubs out of the cart to go and hit. And while she's doing that, the guy comes over and says, you can go ahead and put some Baileys in her coffee. If you don't know what Baileys is, it's like an alcoholic creamer. I'm like, well, I have to hear it from her because I don't think she wants any. So I'm like, hey girl, did you want Baileys in this? Once again, she says she doesn't want any alcohol, so I look at him and I'm like, sorry, she said no. So then I keep making the drinks. So now she walked over to the fairway to go hit her ball, and he's like, I know she said she didn't want any, but she actually really does, so just go ahead and put some Baileys in there. So at this point, it's getting pretty weird, so I try to make a joke. I'm like, oh, why do you want to get her drunk? Like, is she beating you at golf? You know, hoping that he's not, just a creep. He says, oh no, but we've been hanging out for a while now and she's not really coming around. I keep taking her to all these golf courses and I'm trying to get her to like me. I think she just needs a little push. Help me out, pour the shot, and she won't even care. Hello, 911? What's wrong with you? No, psycho. And I think she's gonna know if there's alcohol in it, so now you're trying to get me in trouble. So now she comes back over and she's like, what's going on? I'm like, he's still trying to get you drunk. He's like, yeah, and she wouldn't help me out, so she must not want a very good tip. I'm like, that's fine, maybe I'll just put her on my cart and take her with me. He laughs and puts his card down, then goes to hit his ball. So he goes over there and she tells me that they haven't really known each other that long, but she'll be fine golfing with him. I'm like, okay, but he was being pretty persistent, so here's my number and just text me if you need anything. She was like, thank you so much for checking, and by the time they finished, I saw her get in her car without him. So it sounds like everything was fine, but don't be that guy. Believe me, a girl is a lot more likely to like you if you don't do that.
You know when I was at work, a customer threw a milkshake on my face.
No way.
I swear, the kitchen was taking bare long. Because, you know, I don't want to get annoyed.
Talk about it.
So basically, I used to work in a predominantly white McDonald's. Yeah.
Snitch. What is it? Where is it?
Hornchurch! Hornchurch McDonald's!
Hornchurch McDonald's!
Hornchurch McDonald's!
We were there with
you! And that's where I used to work here. So remember my boss Sakib was Asian. I'm outing everybody.
Sakib.
He was Asian, yeah, but all of the people that he would employ was always white people because he said that they were always more efficient.
Wow.
Yeah, Sakib was white. He's one of those. He's not quite self-aware, and his own is he's been there for so long that they're not gonna fire him. So his mouth just used to run anyhow.
Sakib.
Imagine. So the white people that he would then employ, you know, white people, they love to smoke. So every 2 seconds, they're smoking break. Cigarette break. So while they're doing cigarette break, it's us black slaves that will be there, lining up, working with the workforce. And the thing is, especially, we used to have peak times. And you know, in McDonald's, in an hour, I swear, no word of a lie, God is my witness, you can serve up to 500 to 600 customers.
Wow.
Back to back. So imagine now when kitchen now is doing cigarette break
every 10
minutes. So now you that's even working in the front. I learned how to do. I did lobby. So lobby is when you wipe tables, sweep the floor, wash the toilets. Literally. I did lobby, I did front, and I also did kitchen. Because sometimes I have to run to the kitchen.
Multitasking.
I swear. I'll have to run to the kitchen and go and cook the burger real quick because they're taking too long.
Wow.
So imagine I'm now there and then this guy has ordered something. And you know the ones where I even felt bad for him because it's true, he'd been waiting for time. And I was like to him, listen, the food's coming, da-da-da-da. And then when the food now finally arrived, yeah, they gave him a Big Mac instead of a quarter pounder. I will never forget. Instead of a quarter pounder. He's like, you lot are taking a fucking piss. He's now picked up his strawberry face. The thing, you know, when it just went down so slowly.
What's a bastard?
Slowly.
Was it fat?
Listen, it was just one of these white geezers.
Oh my God.
And I stood there. And you know, you're just drenched in my uniform. This was even back then when McDonald's uniform used to be green. That's when
so
I
the
used
color contrast of the strawberry milkshake.
Strawberry and it was too rude.
Man.
I stood there like this. You know the ones where you can't even get angry. I just thought to myself, I can't lose this job. I just waddled. I waddled from the front to the back. Sakib saw me. Instead of Sakib to come and tell the man, if he goes to the man, I'm so sorry, we're going to make you free order.
Is that what he said?
That's what he said. Then when I'm now there and I'm now upset, he goes, okay, I give you 20 minutes, then you come back. Not you can go home for the inconvenience. 20 minutes and you can go back. So if you see me stressing any McDonald's worker,
I can't sleep, so I want to tell you what's keeping me up at night, because I feel so guilty, literally. Basically, growing up, my uncle had a lot of, like, exotic animals, and he would hide them from my grandparents, like, my entire family. But he would tell me, because, like, I wouldn't snitch, right? So this one time, he was just like, okay, like, I have a surprise, like, I got a new one. And I was like, okay. So I go in the backyard, I go to the cage, and there's a crocodile. And I was just like, you're lying. Like, Jordan, it's mountains/deserts. Like, it's just no business for a crocodile to exist there, right? So that was already weird. And again, like, the only deal that we had was, like, I get to, like, play with the pets as long as, like, I don't snitch on you. And he was okay with it. So one time he was just like, let's go take this on a walk, right? And I know that sounds like I'm lying. Like, I know. But, like, wallah, this is real. Like, I know this sounds so stupid, but, like, me and my uncle, like, really took a crocodile, like, on a walk in our neighborhood. Like, actually, this happened. And basically, like, I was younger, like, I was, like, maybe 10 at the time, so, like, I still, like, would hold my uncle's hand, like, when I was crossing the street. And basically, like, you know, like, the crocodile got run over. Like, it was totally my fault, because, like, I distracted my uncle, like, whatever. It was totally my fault. And it's, like, you know, like, I already kind of feel guilty about that one. Like, that one really, like, you know, weighed heavy on my soul for a while there. But, you know, like, we've moved on. Like, that was ages ago. But I just remembered something. So, like, you know, when it got run over, obviously, like, the dude came out and he was just like, you know, like, what the fuck? Like, it's a crocodile. And then he was like, wait, like, I'm not in trouble. Like, I'm not gonna get in trouble with my, you know, the police or anything, because you can't have this crocodile. So then they both just agreed to, like, not talk about it or call the cops or anything. And then they just, like, moved on from the situation. My uncle, made me, like, wait next to, like, the sidewalk with, like, you know, the unalived crocodile on the side until he can, like, pull up with his car so we can just put it inside. And then, like, you know, he got rid of it. I never saw it again, right? But that year, everyone's birthday gifts were, like, leather goods. And I just thought about it. And I just got rid of that wallet, like, a year ago. I had that wallet for so long. Like, I had the pet crocodile for so long, just holding my cards with me this whole time. Oh, that's cursed. That's bad vibe. Oh, yeah, and basically, after the crocodile situation, he got an eagle. And, like, long story short, I fucked up. It was my fault. I forgot to lock the gate, or the cage, whatever, and the eagle, like, flew away. And we really thought it was gone, right? And it was gone for, like, a full day, so we just kind of gave up on it, like, whatever, we moved on. The next day, I actually just got a bunny, so I was really excited. Me and my cousin got bunnies. My cousin was playing with his inside, I was playing with mine outside, and the eagle, you know, took mine. I didn't even get to name it yet, so I don't think I have good luck with bunnies or animals, really. Pets love me, though. Dogs, cats, so cute. Other animals, absolutely not. It's not working out for me.
Story time. So when I was in high school, my English teacher was trying to teach us some lesson. It was an introduction to whatever book we were reading. I don't remember. But she split up our class into 2 sections. This team got really easy questions. This team got the same type of questions, but they were more difficult. So for example, this team would get like a multiplication question. What is 5 times 3? The other team, the team that I was on, would then get a difficult version of the same question. So what is 63 times 19? Both of them are multiplication. One is clearly easier. But that was like the whole point, right? So when it's my turn, I go up to the front of the class, and the teacher turns to the other student, the easy team student, and asks to say her alphabet as fast as possible. I'm pretty sure the student took like 13 seconds to say the alphabet, just said the alphabet, right? Teacher turns to me and goes, all right, now I need you to say your alphabet backwards as fast as possible. It was at this moment in my young life that the sky opened up, the sun shone down directly on me, because little did this teacher know that I was prepared for this question. You see, when I was in the 2nd grade, I got sick for like a full week and I had to stay home. And while I was at home, there was a poster of the alphabet on the back of my bedroom door. And so what did I do? I memorized it backwards in the 2nd grade. Is there a logical reason that I did this? No, I was sick, and in my head I was like, that'd be a fun party trick if I could say the alphabet backwards. So the teacher turns to me and she goes, I'll give you a second. And I'm like, I'm ready. Start the timer. She's like, okay. Starts the timer. I whip through my alphabet backwards faster than anybody has ever done it. Her face shocked. It was amazing. The entire class claps because who can do that? I do like a little like, and go back and sit down. Did I kind of ruin the lesson that this teacher was trying to portray? Yes. But I was so prepared, and if you want to hear me say my alphabet backwards, leave a comment, because I will. I can do it so fast.
I don't know what you're gonna gain from this, but here's some public school stories, just because I feel like sharing them. I don't know. So this one time, my freshman or sophomore year of high school, my school decided to close every single one of the bathrooms except for one for each sex, because someone in my class decided it would be a good idea to draw anti-Semitic stuff in the bathroom. So for a solid week, we would walk over to the bathroom and there would be someone just sitting there, like a teacher, writing down how many people were in the bathroom. In like 8th grade, I was kicked off my middle school track team because towards the end of the season, we had a big game of capture the flag and I didn't want to play, so I just left practice. So they kicked me off the team. The amount of girls that straighten their hair in the bathroom when I was in high school. Why are all these stories about the bathroom? I just don't, I don't understand. Like, why would you even bring a straightener to school? I also went to the bathroom and noticed a group of maybe 10 girls in the big stall just vaping. Like, I was just trying to pee, like...
As some of you may know by now, I went to hospital and I was there for 4 nights. So let's talk about it. If you're following my Instagram, you would have known, but if not, here's all the information. So I was hospitalized because I have jaundice. So let me give you a backstory on how I found out. I was on TikTok live and that's how I found out I had jaundice. I was wearing my contact lenses and I was like, my eyes look so yellow, and I was showing the camera and I was getting loads and loads of comments of people saying that could be liver problems, all this, all that, and I was like, shut up, no. So then I googled it. So I was googling all the symptoms for this like eye problem, and it was, yeah, I knew it was called jaundice at that point. So I found that out. I was ticking all the boxes for the symptoms. So I called my mum. I was like, can you come take me to the A&E? If you're not from the UK, the A&E is an accident and emergency ward at the hospital. Not ward, like waiting room, whatever. So I got there and I instantly got seen because my problem was so bad. So I did a urine test there in the emergency bit, a blood test, and temperature. My temperature was really high. I had a 39.4 temperature, which is like really bad, and my blood pressure was really high. And I basically found out the liver issues that were causing my jaundice were from my eating habits, so like from under eating or eating disorders. I'm not going to get into any of that in this video. Let me know down below if you want me to get into that. But that stuff can affect your liver, and that's what I suspect has affected mine. I told one of the nurses about the eating issues and all this, and she was like, all right. She didn't seem to think it had much to do with it, but I still do. Because there's no clear like thing wrong with me that says this is why you got jaundice and all that. Oh yeah, forgot to say this. And I also have a viral infection in my body, and I don't know why. And now I'm going to tell you about my stay at the hospital. I stayed in 3 different rooms. So for the first night that I stayed in the A&E like emergency like ward bit. It's basically when you don't have your own room or anywhere, so you just stay in like a big room. It was like full of elderly people. It was disgusting. I could hear people like screaming with like this old lady getting cream put on her cut up booty hole. I know. So I got moved out of there and I got put in my own room for 2 nights. Really great. All fine. Until the last night, which was yesterday. Absolutely disgusting. I had to leave my room because somebody else needed the room I had. It was disgusting because, so I thought they were cooking fish in the kitchen. I was walking through the hallway. I wasn't even in the room yet. Someone was having a wash, like, in their room, like, with a bucket, and it stank of fish through the hallway, through the room, their room, and then to the room that I was staying in. I feel so bad for that person. I'm not even here to judge. But that room was fine and I just got home, so I'm completely fine now. I've recovered from jaundice.
So if you haven't seen this video I posted a day ago, I've been getting a lot of the same comment asking if it worked. So here's a long-awaited bus story. When I was in 5th grade, I used to sit on the bus with a bunch of people in the back, and we called ourselves the back of the bus squad. And essentially, we just got in trouble all the time doing things we shouldn't have done. There was one kid who sat back there who was the in quotes ringleader of everything we got in trouble for, and one day he gets on the bus and tells us he knows how we could skip school. Our typical morning bus route consisted of going to everyone's houses and picking up individual kids, and then we would go to a kindercare and pick up like 10 kids at once who were sent there before school. And at this kindercare, when the bus left the parking lot with all the kids, there were so many people on the bus and the turn was so big that the bus already leaned really far to one side. So this kid comes up with a plan that if we all get out of our seats right when the bus is turning and we go to one side of the bus, that the bus will tip over because it already leans. Obviously, a lot of kids were skeptical about this, but we all wanted to skip school, so why not try it? So we made a plan and we set a day and we told all the other kids on the bus when they started to get on what our plan was. So fast forward to the day that this is happening. All these kids start coming onto the bus with bike helmets. Why the bus driver didn't question anything, I don't know. But a lot of kids were scared of the bus tipping over, including myself, so we wanted some sort of protection. So I don't know where everyone's from, so just for logistical purposes, this is the kind of school bus we're talking about, just a typical American yellow school bus. And it has 2 seats on each side, 2 people can sit in each seat. So we finally get to the kindercare, all the kids are on the bus at this point, and the bus driver goes to turn. The ringleader kid in the back had timed it out perfectly to count down from 3 so that all the kids moved at the same time. So he counts down from 3 and all the kids go to the left side of the bus. And so now there's 4 people in each seat except for the front of the bus, which is the kindercare kids. And they didn't know what was going on because they always got on so far to the end of the route that if we told them, the bus driver would have heard. So now 75% of this bus is on one side and the bus starts leaning over the typical amount and then it starts leaning over more than that. So at this point, the bus is literally tipping over and all of us, even the kid who came up with the plan, are freaking out at this point because I don't think any of us thought it would actually work. So the bus driver starts screaming, freaking out because they're like, what the heck is happening? And they can't see us in the back all sitting on one side. So they start turning the wheel like this over and over again to overcorrect, leaning toward one side. Eventually, the bus driver corrects enough that the bus is straight and then they just pull over to the side of the road, yell at us, we get in trouble, and then we went to school that day. So no, it didn't work for us. And I want to preface what I'm going to say next by saying that I don't condone trying this because it could be dangerous. But hypothetically, if everyone on the bus knew, including the kindercare kids, I think it could have worked.
Hi, welcome to the bar. How can I help you? Hi, so nice to meet you. I'm just here with my friends. I'm the DD for the night, and I'm just wondering if you have any, sober drink specials or anything like that. Absolutely. When I'm working, my DDs will drink pop for free all night. Just don't tell my boss, because he doesn't really like that. He's pretty cheap. No problem. That's really awesome. Thank you so much. Later. Hey, are you doing okay? You don't really seem yourself right now. I don't feel very good. The room is spinning. Hey, can you look at me right now? Hey, eyes open, look at me. I'm just so tired. Girls? Yeah, girls? No. Hey, Lily, I need you to go and grab her friends right now. All of them. I don't care that they're talking to that guy. You need to get them away from him right now. Sweetie, I need you to look at me. Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Please open your eyes. What happened? What's wrong with my friend? Has she been drinking tonight? I know earlier she was telling me that she was your guys' DD, but something feels really off right now and she's not really coherent and I just need to know, have you guys been partaking in anything? I'm not gonna judge, I just need to know. No, we don't do that. We've just went out for a couple of drinks. She was the sober one. She's been drinking pop all night. I don't understand what's happening. Sir, no, you need to go away right now. You're not their friends. I need to deal with this. She's not doing well. I don't care. You can go over in that corner there. Lily, you need to call 911 and tell them we need an ambulance and police immediately. Fast. Go in the back. Go in the back. Okay, girls, I need you to stay really, really calm for me, okay? Just rub her back. We're just going to take care of her right now. But I need you to stay at the bar. Don't go anywhere. And please don't go near that guy that I just sent away. I don't understand what's happening. Did he do something? I don't know, but I'm not chancing it. Did you guys leave your drinks alone at all at any point tonight? Just when we went to the bathroom and then we went out for a smoke. Okay, she's gonna be fine. Everything's okay. Just stay here, stay calm, and I've got this. The police showed up 5 minutes after this. The ambulance was not far after. She got taken to the hospital and they did do a toxicology, and she was drugged with Rohypnol. The guy in question could be seen on the cameras drugging her drink. It happened very quickly, and thankfully, because she was not drinking already, she was able to get to the bar and be able to tell me what happened. It happens very quickly, ladies and gentlemen, so please be careful, because this isn't my only story about this. And if you talk to any of your servers, they probably have a couple too. Stay safe, and if you see something, say something.
What's the most disrespectful thing that's happened to you in the service industry? I'll go.
When this pandemic started, I was working security. Told me while I was at Walmart trying to enforce the mask mandate. This one customer was like, I don't want monkeys blocking my entrance. About 15 minutes later, he comes out with a thing of bananas and throws them at me. Like, here, I know you're going to get hungry soon. I was very furious, but the funny thing was, one customer, he was very upset that he seen that, and he kicked that fool's ass in the parking lot. He asked me to call the police, and I was like, ooh, ooh, ah, ah. And then he got in his car and drove away.
What's the most disrespectful thing that's happened to you in the service industry?
All right, so as a family of 15, all of them came in. I went to go take their drink order. They all shouted different things at me, and I was like, okay, and I repeated everything back and was like, I think I got it all. I get the drinks, I bring them back. I set everything down. The grandma's like, I didn't get coffee. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, did you order coffee? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, okay. And so I wrote down coffee in my little notepad. She didn't order it, by the way. Anyways, and then the dad's like, we need to order right now. And I was like, okay, did you want me to put the coffee in for your mom, or do you want me to take your food order? He's like, take our food order, we're starving. I was like, great, got it. So I take their food order, and after I'm done taking their food order, by the way, the grandma was like, where's my coffee? And I was like, well, I physically have not left this spot. So I'm taking everyone's food order, and then I'm gonna put your coffee in, I'm gonna go run and get it, and then I'm gonna come back, put the food order in. She was like, fine. So I finished taking everyone's food order. I go to the computer to put her coffee order in. She stands up, comes to the computer, and is like, you still have not brought me my coffee. And I was like, I physically haven't left your table until just now, and I'm putting your coffee in right now. And she was like, how hard is it to do your job? Did you even graduate from high school? You must be some kind of idiot if you can't actually go get a coffee for someone. Like, I don't know what level of education you've had, but you're a moron. So I was like, oh, I don't actually have to serve you. I don't actually have to serve any of you, and I'm not going to be doing that anymore. So you guys can pay for the drinks that you've gotten. I'm not going to put your food order in, and you guys are welcome to leave. I told my management team about it, and they fully backed me up. They're like, nobody should ever speak to anybody else that way. Whatever the situation is, not cool. And so, they had to leave without getting food, and they had to go to another restaurant. And I could imagine sitting 15 people on a Saturday at another restaurant was probably real tricky. Oh well.
So I work at Michael's, this is my second job, and we have flowers and they're color coordinated, and I had a pink flower in my hand, and in my head I was thinking, this don't go down here, it's whites only over there, because it's the only white flowers down there. And when I said that, this old white woman, she said, oh, baby, we don't do that no more. I said, ma'am, that's not what I meant. And why is she gonna say, well, like Lion King said, Hakuna Matata, we love black folk, skin color don't define a person. And it was at that moment when I realized, maybe I don't hate all white people. Y'all all right.
Tell me about a time you thought you were completely right, but then ended up being completely wrong. I'll go first.
Mister's understandable. You have M-I-S-T-E-R. M-R. Miss. M-I-S-S. M-S. Miss. So it had me thinking, where does the R come from in Mrs.? I was like, where in the world does this R come from? That I realized something. Mrs. is when you're married. Misters.
No.
Girls, tell me about a time where your quick thinking probably saved your life.
So I'm an Instacart shopper, and that's where people place their groceries online, and I basically go and I shop it for them and I deliver it to their house. I never really thought of it as dangerous until this one night. So I was delivering to a lady, and she wrote in the instructions to meet me at the door, and usually they just say to leave it at the door. So I walk up to her, I immediately get bad vibes from her. She has long, tangly, gray hair. She's wearing a nightgown. She looks like a witch, basically. And I was like, So I hand the bags to her and she's like, oh, actually, do you think you could go up those stairs and go in that door on the right and just set them in there? It was like an old, creepy apartment complex type of thing, and her husband was standing up there at the top of the stairs. Immediately in my head, I was like, oh my god, I'm about to get kidnapped. So I was like, oh, I actually don't think I'm supposed to. And she goes, no, yeah, you are. I just gave them to her. I ran to my car. I was shaking and crying because I literally almost got kidnapped.
Tell me about a time you overheard something you weren't supposed to, and to this day you've kept it to yourself that you heard that thing. I'ma go first. Basically, one of my friends had this really fucking creepy guy friend, okay? He was so touchy with me, followed me everywhere, weirdly knew a lot about me the minute he fucking met me. So I called her and I was like, hey girl, like this dude's just really fucking creepy. What's the deal with that? Like, why is he like this? And she's like, you know what, bitch? Meet yourself right the fuck now. I'ma call him. Let's hear what he has to say. So she calls him and then she makes like a brief little joke about me, and this fucker starts roasting the fuck out of me, being like, she's so fucking ugly. I don't know how anybody finds her attractive. She's a low-life fucking loser. Her job's a fucking joke. Her life's a joke. Her TikTok's a joke. All this fucking shit. I'm just sitting here like, what the fuck did I just hear? And my friend was like, oh my god, please do not be mad at him. Like, he did not know you were on the phone, please. And I was like, you know what? I'm fucking concerned because if you're gonna have the energy behind my fucking back, have the energy to my face. But I still played nice for her sake. And then to this day, this fucker still kisses my ass 24/7. It's like, oh my god, congrats. And I still have to be nice. Yeah.
So earlier this year, I got my first job at Mickey D's McDonald's, and I was excited because, like, it seemed fun, right? So at the time, I was 15, so I legally was not allowed to work by the grill, make food. I was not allowed to do any of that shit. I was only allowed to do drive-thru, take the money, work, like, you know, all that stuff up front that isn't the grill, right? So I walk in, and my manager comes up to me, and she goes up to me, and she's like, how old are you? And I was like 15, so they looked at each other and they go, okay, you're gonna be working the grill. So I'm over here like, homegirl, I didn't learn how to preheat a motherfucking oven until this year. You think I could go making some burgers and fries? So I go in the back, right? And they had me doing eggs. I don't know how the fuck to do this shit because the eggs came out of a fucking can. I'm gonna make a part 2.
Tell me about a time someone talked about you in another language and you showed them that you understood them in that language. As always, I'll go first. I was in Budapest in some cafe. And me and my American friends, we were laughing, you know, having a good time. They were asking me what things on the menu are. I was telling them, but some dudes up front talking about how we're just stupid American girls. So I didn't say anything. I just casually went up and placed 5 orders in Hungarian in front of them.